Trick or Treat is a new mini event for player camps live for Halloween 2021. There are new challenges and even a new exclusive reward. Here's how everything works. Hello everyone! Welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. In this event guide, I will share lots of tips, tricks and facts about how the mini event Trick or Treat works. Right now, it can be demanding to complete the daily and weekly candy challenges, which might become an obstacle on your way to unlock the new popcorn machine. So in order to easily unlock it, I will share everything I discovered about the new spooky candy ball and how to reset the cooldowns per player. There are actually different ways to do this and it's very simple. Also, I will provide tips on how to better place your ball, farm mystery candy, and so much more. If you are not familiar with the Halloween activities live right now for 76, please feel free to check my Spooky Scorched event guide and my rare rewards overview as well, featuring the 24 rare rewards you can get in 2021. Alright then, I hope you're ready. Let's do this. As per usual, first things first, in order to redeem your free spooky candy ball, all you have to do is access the Atomic Shop through the main menu, then head to the camp section and then utility. You will find the new black candy ball there right now during the Halloween season 2021. I'm leaving this here for history purposes mostly because some of you guys have been asking me where to find it and I think it will be a bit confusing some months later when it's not live anymore, so here it is. I am assuming this item will be live for redemption until November 2 and then it should only return for Halloween 2022, which means characters that do not unlock it now will probably have to wait a full year until they have a chance to do it again. Everyone who learned it should keep it as it is though. Okay, but unlocking and placing the spooky candy ball is not enough to complete any of the new challenges. You need mystery candy to fill it up, but how or where to get it? Well, there are three sources for 2021. First, you can loot them off Spooky Scorched. They spawn all over the wasteland among other Scorched, so fixed locations and events for Scorched are perfect to farm them, obviously. However, keep in mind they do not spawn inside of interiors or instance locations, they can only spawn in the open world. Each Spooky Scorch drops one fixed mystery candy and that's it. The second way to farm this item is through train station vendors. They normally have 20 candy for sale under the food category. However, the White Spring vendor always has double, 40 as shown. Now the thing is, mystery candy is not that cheap. My price is always locked on 88 caps per candy. Even with the hard bargain perk active, it's literally more expensive than silver and gold. Aha, it's the new rarity item in the wasteland, it seems like. Anyway, the last way to farm mystery candy is obviously through other player balls. This morning I collected around 25 candy just testing out stuff and gathering footage for this video. It's a very interactive and fun way to farm, I can tell you that much. Now keep in mind that mystery candy is untradeable, which means you can drop or sell it through the usual ways. Vendor machines, loot bags, or direct trading, it doesn't work for this item. On the other hand, you can trade it through your candy balls, as you will see soon in the next points. Lastly, mystery candy can offer you 5 different benefits if you choose to eat it instead of sharing. The buffs are not impressive though, they are basically flat attribute boosters with a few twists, like a potential blackout, something you don't want to get. Each effect lasts only 10 minutes and the effects cannot stack, so don't eat multiple at once, don't be greedy because you will not receive any benefits for it. Well, the mystery candy lesson is done, let's keep moving. Now remember that placing your spooky candy balls somewhere in your camp is not going to do much for anyone really. In fact, you will just deceive other players who assume you have candy to give away, when in reality your bowl is dry as a desert. So make sure to farm some mystery candy first, then fill it up as it is intended. Now, unlike other interactive camp items like vendors, drinking bowls, or display cases, this candy bowl comes with a drop-down menu instead, but don't worry, it's very simple to navigate. All you have to do is select how many candies you wish to add, and that's pretty much it. You can even check how many candies you have assigned already through the check candy count option. In the end, the important thing is to ensure your bowl has enough candy to complete your challenges, and of course, if you have enough to spare, then keep your bowl full at all times. That's the perfect ideal scenario, but sadly, it's not always possible to achieve. Either way, I recommend you guys to keep an eye on your bowls for the next weeks, at least once per day. Otherwise, you will probably miss a few challenges and then you risk not unlocking the popcorn machine. Who would tell that candy ball strategies would emerge in 76, huh? Well, here we are. Placing your bowl randomly will do no good. After all, if other players can't find your bowl, they won't take any candy either way, and as a result, your chances to unlock the popcorn machine will go down the drain. And nobody wants that, right? So, where should you place your bowl exactly? Well, in my view, the best and most straightforward location is close to your vendors. That's like the only item every visitor wants to check before they even step foot on your camp, right? So, placing your bowl there will literally allow players to do both things at once. Check your vendor and pick up some candy while they are there already. It's like adding the cherry on top of the cake, if you know what I mean. Another wise location is at your front door, if you have one, or at your main stairs. You know, a location players must go through to enter your house or access your vendors. Placing the bowl near both vendors and main door is even better. The perfect scenario, I would say. But then again, it all depends on your camp structure. There are a few exceptions. For example, if your camp is circular, then it makes sense to put your bowl in the middle of all the structures. There are also a lot of things you shouldn't do, such as placing your bowl on top of some random object and force your guests to play Find the Bowl game. Find it. It's your job to do it. No, really, you don't want that, because most will give up and then no challenges for you, my friend. Moreover, you shouldn't lock your bowls behind traps or decontamination showers either, since, well, a lot of players will refuse the torture to reach your bowl and simply move along. Overall, just don't make it difficult for other players to find and access your bowl. It's a pretty simple rule, I think, but still, I see a lot of randomly placed bowls around. Like this camp, the bowl was on the seat of the fireplace after crossing a savanna of crops and items. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty confused there. Another not so straightforward example is this other camp. Another player and I took a while to figure out where the owner's bowl was placed. It happens they had camp extensions, and one of them was all the way down the hill, so no wonder we couldn't find it on the upper structure where the vendors were. Needless to say that all that hassle and time wasted could have been avoided if the player placed it in a more straightforward location. Lastly, keep in mind that camp fast travel spawns are very buggy, and they don't work the same way for every player, so don't use that as a guide because it is very deceiving and it will end up deceiving others instead. Alright, so let's say you really want to place your spooky candy ball in a not so obvious place, like on your dining table, some Halloween altar you made, and so on. Fine, you can totally do it. It's your camp after all. I'm not dictating any rules here. I'm just trying to make your life a little bit easier. But in such cases, you should add signs as well to help guiding your guests and to make sure they almost immediately can find your candy ball if they are looking for it, regardless of where you end up placing it. You can use any signs you want, light signs, letters, cutouts, anything you want really, as long as it is explicit and clear the ball is there. Remember, the end goal here is to prevent players from despairing while searching the ball at your camp. What if other players don't visit your camp? What if the player bowls you find are always empty? What if you normally play in your private server alone or with just a couple of friends? There are plenty of reasons that could block or delay your candy challenge's completion. But fear not, I'm here to give you a helping hand and show you how to easily and quickly do these candy challenges. So first of all, you need a friend or an alt account to speed up the process and become somewhat independent. I discovered several ways to bypass the candy ball cooldowns. It's actually very simple. The first method is to rebuild your spooky candy ball. Both options, scrap and store, work. I first tested with Maddock Rod here. I scrapped my bowl and then rebuilt it several times, and as you can see, he could loot candy from the bowl every time I rebuilt it. Note that the assigned candy stays as it is, no matter how many times you scrap it, so you don't have to keep adding candy while doing this trick. The same logic applies to stored bowls. I also tested it. This time I stored and reapplied the bowl and the cooldowns reset. Just like before, like scrapping, it's the same exact thing. This method is actually easier and you get to save some plastic along the way, so go for it. Goodbye cooldowns. In theory, you only need a friend to do all the trick or treat challenges in a very quick manner. This trick could also be used as an emergency call to action, at the end of the day or week, if you could not complete the challenges the standard, legit way, then you can always ask a friend for a little help with the cooldown reset and you should be good to go. As I mentioned, there are other ways to reset the Spooky Candy Ball cooldowns, and this following method requires different camp slots because swapping camps also resets the cooldown. Who would tell, huh? I did a quick test with 2 camps at the same exact location. I took a candy from the second test camp here, then Termitim swapped to his first camp, and I could immediately collect another candy. It's magic. Right away, it works. This is by far the easiest and quickest way to eliminate the ball cooldowns. The only restriction here is the standard 30 seconds cooldown between camp slot swaps. But other than that, you can use this method to fully complete your challenges without having to rebuild the balls, without scrapping or storing anything. Just one click, one button, and that's it. Talking about one button and one click, changing servers also works as a cooldown reset for the Spooky Candy Ball. I'm actually starting to think almost anything can reset this ball. Maybe disconnecting and crashing works too. Probably not if you end up in the same server, but I would have to test that. Anyway, server jumping works like a charm. I tested it a couple of times as shown here in the footage. And yeah, there's not much else to be said. It's just time consuming with all the loadings, so I recommend you guys to use the previous 2 methods instead. But suit yourself, pick your poison, as they say. The next tip is mostly for new or returning players. It's about the camp system and it serves as a reminder that your camp should be set to public. Otherwise, you probably won't get many guests to take your candy despite having active vendors, shelters, or the Spooky Candy Ball. Keep in mind that not too long ago, having an active vendor was the only trigger for a public camp, but now it works differently. You actually need to do it manually. The choice is now yours. If you right-click on your active camp's icon, you will see this handy option to set your camp to either private or public. Private is the default option though. I actually had my Halloween camp set to private without knowing because I recently built it up from scratch and forgot to change it to public meanwhile. So remember this one for all your camp slots, otherwise you might be wondering why nobody visits your camp when it's actually set to private, and I think you don't want that to happen, right? The last tip I have for you is regarding the new camp icon, the orange pumpkin, which indicates a camp has a placed Spooky Candy Ball somewhere. As such, if you need to hunt for mystery candy, make sure to fast travel only to camps with this specific icon. But don't get mistaken, the pumpkin doesn't mean the camp has candy ready to be collected. No, no, no. It simply means the ball is placed somewhere and that's it. It could be empty, it could be full, it could be anything. So expect a mixed result, just like the trick or treat event in real life. Sometimes you knock and you get candy, other times you knock and you get nothing. So in that sense, it is very realistic. But on the serious side, if you are having issues with the challenges, at least now you know how to reset the cooldowns and get things going your way. Now, you might be wondering, why should you bother with the Trick or Treat mini event? Well, if you complete at least 2 weekly challenges to share candy, you will be able to unlock this new lovely item, the popcorn machine. So I think that's incentive enough to tag along and share candy across the wasteland. The popcorn machine is set as a free reward for the 3rd Halloween weekly challenge, but according to the Fallout Wiki, players can unlock it as soon as the 3rd week starts if they previously completed 2 Trick or Treat weeklies already. It seems like we have to wait a little bit longer until we can make popcorn. That's right, this machine will produce free popcorn, everyone. Any food with benefits. According to the game files, popcorn will provide a slight health and stamina regeneration, as well as a slight decrease in hunger and thirst. Here's some in-game footage already from the public test servers a while ago, so you see how it looks like. It's also very demanding in terms of energy, 8. Maybe it will change, maybe not, we will see. Anyway, happy Halloween! The trick-or-treat activity comes with a great concept. However, in-game, things don't work so good. There are way too many variables and factors that can condition players' ability to complete these new candy challenges. Thankfully, there are a few ways to get past the restrictions. Otherwise, it would be pretty sad if we are not able to unlock a new reward just because we were unlucky and other players didn't visit our camps enough. I mean, think about it. It's an external factor and completely out of the player's control. So it's nowhere to be fair. Anyway, I hope this event guide was useful to you, and who knows, maybe some of the tricks here will turn up as your savior. You never know. Well, that's it for my part. Don't forget my Halloween screenshot event is live on my Discord. Submit your best shot for a chance to earn awesome prizes described in the poster here, such as an Amazon digital card. The links are all below the video. Thanks for watching. I am Marta Branco. Feel free to leave a comment below, leave a like, all of that, and subscribe, of course, if you haven't yet. As always, a huge shout out to all my dear supporters. You guys are the best. Now I will see you all very, very soon in the next video. Until then, take care. Adios. Bye bye.